Somewhere in Ohio, right now, a 34-year-old former warehouse worker named Mark is asleep. It's 2 a.m., and while he sleeps, he's making more money than he did during an entire 8-hour shift at his old job. He didn't win the lottery, he didn't inherit anything. He did something so simple, so boring, that most people scroll right past it every single day. He stopped trading his time for money, and today I'm going to show you exactly how, step by step, starting from absolute zero.
By the end of this video, you're going to understand the 4 types of assets that can quietly start replacing your paycheck, even if you're starting with $50. No jargon, no Wall Street language, just the real mechanics explained the way I wish someone had explained them to me. Stick around till the end because I'm going to show you the exact order beginners should build these in. Most people get this order backwards and it costs them years.
Quick honest note before we dive in, this is educational content based on general financial principles, not personalized advice. Always think for yourself and, when needed, talk to a licensed professional for your specific situation. Now, let's get into it. Here's a truth most schools never teach you. A paycheck is not wealth. A paycheck is rent you pay to stay alive, funded by hours you sell. Think about it like this. If you stop showing up to work tomorrow, your income stops the same day. That's not a job, that's a leash. And the length of that leash is exactly as long as your energy, your health, and your time allow. An asset, on the other hand, doesn't care if you show up. It doesn't care if you're sick, on vacation, or asleep. It just keeps producing value. That's the entire difference between being an employee of your money and being the employer of your money. Let's go back to Mark for a second, because his story actually starts years earlier, in a much smaller way than you'd expect. In 2019, Mark had exactly $600 saved. Not much. He didn't buy a course, he didn't buy crypto, he bought shares in a handful of boring, unglamorous companies. The kind that sell toothpaste, electricity, and canned soup. Companies so stable, they've paid their shareholders a slice of profit every single quarter for decades. That slice of profit is called a dividend. It's the company saying, we made money, here's your cut, just for owning a piece of us. Mark didn't spend a single dollar of those payments. He reinvested every cent, buying a tiny bit more ownership each time. Here's where it gets interesting. This is what's called compounding, and Albert Einstein reportedly once called it the 8th wonder of the world. Not because the math is complicated, but because it's deceptively slow at first, then shockingly fast later. In year 1, Mark's dividends bought him a cup of coffee. By year 5, they were covering his phone bill. That's not magic, that's ownership, multiplying quietly in the background while he lived his normal life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but that takes years. I want something that moves faster. Stay with me, because Pillar 2 is exactly that, and it's the one most people get catastrophically wrong when they're impatient. Let's talk about it. Picture a woman named Sarah, a school teacher in Manchester. Sarah always assumed real estate meant buying a house, something she thought was impossible on a teacher's salary. That assumption almost stopped her from ever starting. But real estate as an asset doesn't require you to own a building outright. It requires you to own a slice of income-producing property. And there are vehicles built exactly for that, called REITs, or real estate investment trusts. You can buy a share of one for less than the price of a nice dinner out. A REIT pools money from thousands of people to buy shopping centers, apartment complexes, warehouses, the kind of property that generates rent every single month. And by law, in most Western countries, REITs are required to pass the majority of that rental income directly to shareholders. Sarah put in what she could afford. She wasn't a landlord fixing broken pipes at midnight. She was simply a tiny fractional owner of a rent-collecting machine, sitting quietly in her portfolio. This matters because so many people believe wealth-building real estate requires a mortgage, a deposit, and years of saving. That belief keeps people frozen for a decade. The truth is far more accessible and far less romantic than what gets shown on television. Now here's a pillar that surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it. There's a musician in Auckland, we'll call him Josh, who wrote one song in 2016. That song made him almost nothing that year. But 5 years later, that same song was still being streamed, still being licensed, still quietly depositing small amounts into his account every single month without him writing a single new note. That's a royalty asset. And here's the part that matters for you, even if you've never touched a guitar in your life. Royalties aren't just for musicians. They exist for writers, photographers, course creators, even people who license a single template or a piece of software they built once. The pattern is always the same. You do the work one time, upfront, and the asset keeps paying you for that one act of creation over and over, long after the effort is finished. This is the closest thing to true financial leverage that an ordinary person with no starting capital can build purely from skill and time. But here's the uncomfortable part nobody puts in the thumbnail. None of these assets work if you skip the one boring step that comes before all of them. And it's the step that separates people who actually build wealth from people who just watch videos about it. Let's talk about that step right now. Before dividends, before REITs, before royalties, there's a foundational layer almost nobody gets excited about. And that's exactly why most people skip it and exactly why it works. It's called an emergency fund, sitting in something as unglamorous as a high-yield savings account. 3 to 6 months of basic expenses, untouched, boring, sitting there earning a small, steady interest. Here's why this matters more than people admit. Every single asset we just talked about needs time to work. Dividends need years to compound. Real estate needs years to appreciate. Royalties need time to accumulate. And the single biggest reason people are forced to sell their assets early, at the worst possible time, is because life happened. A car broke down, a job was lost, a medical bill arrived. The emergency fund isn't exciting. It's not going to replace your paycheck, but it's the shock absorber that protects the assets that will. Let's be honest about something for a second. If this is so simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because our brains are wired for immediate reward, not delayed ownership. Spending money gives you a dopamine hit right now. Buying an asset gives you nothing right now. No new shoes, no vacation, no dinner out. It just sits there, invisible, doing nothing you can see or feel for months, sometimes years. This is the exact psychological gap between people who stay employees of their money forever and people who eventually become the employer of it. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's tolerance for boredom applied consistently for longer than feels comfortable. Let's go back to Mark one final time, because now every piece of this story should make sense. Year 1, an emergency fund, so life's chaos couldn't force him to sell anything. Years 4 through 3, small, boring dividend-paying shares reinvested without exception. Year 4, his first REIT purchase, using money he used to spend on things he can't even remember now. Year 5, a small side skill turned into a tiny royalty stream, on top of everything else. None of it was dramatic. None of it would make a good movie. But by year 6, the combined quiet income from all 3 asset types had grown large enough to cover his rent. A full paycheck's worth of value, generated by things that don't need him to show up, get sick, or ask for a raise. Here's the thing about the assets that replace your paycheck. They don't announce themselves. There's no dramatic moment where you suddenly become financially free. There's just a slow, quiet crossing of a line, usually so gradual you almost don't notice it happening until you look back and realize your money has been working just as hard as you have for years. If this is the first time you've heard any of this laid out simply, that's exactly why this channel exists, to take confusing financial ideas and turn them into things a complete beginner can actually use. In the next video, we're going deep into the very first asset we mentioned, how to actually start with dividend-paying shares, step by step, even with a small budget. Subscribe if you want to keep building this from the ground up with me, one honest, no-hype video at a time. And if there's a specific asset from today you want broken down further first, drop it in the comments. I read every one. Somewhere tonight, someone just like you is going to fall asleep having done nothing different than yesterday. And someone else watching this exact video is going to plant the first seed of the asset that eventually replaces their paycheck. The only difference between them is what happens in the next 10 minutes after this video ends.